ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। So let's get started. Let's chant the prayers of the verses of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam found in the 12th chapter of the 10th canto. Shri Shukha Uvacha क्वचिद्वनाशाय मनो ददद्व्रजात् प्रातः समुत्थाय वयस्य वत्सपान् प्रबोधयन् शृङ्गरवेण चारुणा विनिर्गतो वत्सपुरःसरो हरि तेनैव साकं पृथुकाः सहस्रशः स्निग्धा सुषिग्वेत्र-विषाण-वेणवः स्वान् स्वान् सहस्रोपरि-सङ्ख्ययान्वितान् vatsān puraskṛtya viniryayur kṛṣṇa-vatsair asaṅkhyātair yūthī-kṛtya sva-vatsakān cārayanto rbha-līlābhir vijahrus tatra फलप्रवालस्तवक सुमनपिच्छधातुभिः काचगुञ्जामणिस्वर्णभूषिता अप्यभूषयन् मुष्णन्तोऽन्योन्यशिक्यादीन् ज्ञातान् आराच्य चिक्षिपुः तत्रत्याश्च पुनर्दूरात् हसन्तश्च पुनर्ददु यदि दूरं गतः कृष्णो वनशोभेक्षणायतम् अहं पूर्वम् इति संस्पृश्य रेमिरे केचिद्वेणुन् वादयन्तो ध्मान्तशृङ्गाणि केचन केचिद्भृङ्गै प्रगायन्तः कूजन्तः कोकिलै परे विच्छायाभिप्रधावन्तो गच्छन्तः साधुहंसकै बकैरुपविशन्तश्च नृत्यन्तश्च कलापिभिः विकर्षन्तः कीशबालान् आरोहन्तश्च तैर्द्रुमान् विकुर्वन्तश्च तैः साकं प्लवन्तश्च पलाशिषु साकं भेकैर्विलङ्घन्त सरितस्रवसम्प्लुता विहसन्त प्रतिच्छाया शपन्तश्च प्रतिस्वनान् इत्थं सतां ब्रह्मसुखानुभूत्या दास्यं गतानां परदैवतेन मायाश्रितानां नरदारकेण साकं विजह्रो कृतपुण्यपुञ्जा यत्पादपांशोर्बहुजन्मकृच्छ्रतो धृतात्मभियोगिभिरप्यलभ्य स एव यदृग्विषयस्वयं स्थित किं वर्ण्यते दिष्टमतो व्रजौकसाम् हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Welcome back everyone. Hare Krishna. So we have been studying Granth-raj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and yesterday we left off in our study of the first verse. Until now, we have discussed Kvachit vanashaya manodadhat vrajat pratas samuthaya vayasya vatsapan prabodhayan shringaravena charuna vinirgato vatsapurassaro hari. That Hari, Shri Krishna, Vatsapurassara, he keeps his calves ahead of him, and along with his friends who are Vatsapan, all caretakers of calves, and Vayasya, they're all of the same age. Krishna is leaving Vanat, Vrajat, from his village, Vanashaya, towards the forest. And why is he going? Manodadhat, why has he invested his heart in this desire? Vanashaya, with the desire to honor Prasadam. And Kvachit, this happens to be in Krishna's 5th year of his manifest presence. And to make this come together, it's described one night before. Krishna calls in a meeting with his mother and his friends, and friends talk to their mothers. And it's very beautifully described that Mother Yashoda makes all the preparations ready. She makes Krishna's clothes ready. She keeps Krishna's ornaments ready. She even dries up gunja berry to make it into garlands for Krishna, and peacock feathers ready. And also the mothers are keeping all the prasadam ready early in the morning, not overnight, early in the morning, so that the boys can have nice hot prasadam to take it to the forest. And Prabodhayan Shringaravena Charuna, very sweetly, Krishna's playing on different instruments and inviting his friends. And in this way, Harihi Vinirgataha, Krishna leaves his village to go into the forest. Either Visheshana Nirgataha, he is leaving without Balaram, or Vinodena Nirgata, he is traveling with a lot of jokes and a lot of frolic with his friends. Now, at this point, it's very important to see what Krishna basically announced to his friends. So my Guru Maharaj explains Krishna, he would play on his flute and bugle and buffalo horn, telling his friends, Aham vatsa charanaya vanam gacchami, yuyam api agacchata iti vidyapayan. Krishna is making an advertisement announcement that I am going to take the calves deep into the forest. So all friends, please come, with a wink, which means that's not the plan. The plan is basically to have fun. And the external reason of going into the forest, the gauna karana, is to take care of calves. Well, the calves don't need much help. Once they see nice grasslands of Braj, they will help themselves. They will run around, they will frolic. And it's certainly very joy producing to the eyes just to see calves leave the Goshala and in hundreds and thousands of count um, start running and frolicking and jumping. I'm pretty sure many of you may have seen, if not seen, at least seen videos where calves are jumping with their tails upraised like an antenna, and they are in complete ecstasy, seeing lush green grasslands in different countries around the world. And what more if it's in Braj Mandal? Everything just gets heightened a million times in Vrindavan. So here it's important to note as to what's the puraskṛtya, Krishna keeping his calves ahead of him. What does that represent practically for us as sadhakas? It means Krishna places his devotees ahead of him. Krishna always keeps his devotees ahead of him. So it's important when we study Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we hear the Lila Katha, we understand the emotions, the Rasa Katha, but at the same time, we learn the Tattva Siddhanta. We learn the practical lessons as sadhakas, as and when we study. So this is a very important lesson for all of us, that we must have complete confidence that if we are sincere, if we are dedicated, if we are strict and serious in our sadhana and in our practice and our services, then Krishna will always, always protect and prioritize our Krishna consciousness. The very famous pastime of Sakshi Gopāla is quite relevant in this regard. Everyone may have heard of the story. If not, as homework, you can always read it. I believe in the 4th chapter or the 5th chapter of Madhya Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrita, you can find this very beautiful pastime of the wonderful activities of Sakshi Gopal. Just for those who are still excited to know the story, who haven't read or heard it before, in a minute I will summarize that there's a very interesting history, a conversation spoken by Nityananda Prabhu and listened to by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's a conversation between Gaur Nitai. Generally, we have conversations about Gaur Nitai, but this is a conversation between Gaur Nitai. Nityananda Prabhu, who's Balaram himself, he's speaking this Harikatha. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's Radha and Krishna, Abhinna Swarup in Kali Yuga, he is listening to this Harikatha. The story of two Brahmanas. There's an older Brahmana, there's a younger Brahmana, and they both have a nice pilgrimage trip where the younger Brahmana helps the older Brahmana profusely. He carries water pots for him and sometimes even helps him on his shoulder and takes him around for different paryatan, tirtha brahmana, which means seeing different pastime places. And the older Brahmana becomes so overwhelmed with gratitude that he blesses the younger Brahmana with his youngest daughter in marriage. He says, I give you my youngest daughter in marriage. So the younger Brahmana thinks, he says, it's nice that you're saying this, but the words of a Brahmana must never go false. Brahmana in this regard means a Vaishnava, a devotee. The words of a Brahmana must never come false. So therefore, would you be okay if you can say the same thing in front of Krishna in the form of the deity? His name is Gopal. Please say the same thing in front of Gopal, so now you'll keep your word. It's not that the younger Brahmana wants the girl in marriage, but he wants the older Brahmana's words to come true. And no falsity should live on the tongue of a Vaishnava. It is described that ahimsa, satyam, akrodha, tyaga, shantira, paishunam, daya, bhuteshva, loluptvam, mardavam, hira, chapalam. In the 16th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains that truth is a sign of a Vaishnava. The first symptom of a Vaishnava or a Brahmana is satyavak. One must have a truth on one's tongue. Satyavratam satyaparam trisatyam satyasya yonim nihitam cha satye satyasya satyam vrita satyanetram satyatmakam tvam sharanam prapanna. In the second chapter of the 10th canto, when Krishna enters the womb of Mother Devaki, the demigods pray that, "O Krishna, you are truth personified. You promised to us that you will come, and keeping your word, you have entered the womb of Devaki. Oh Krishna, you are truthful. And anyone who remembers your names, forms, qualities, and pastimes, they come in touch with eternal truth." Therefore, Bhagavatam starts with Satyam Param Dhimahi. Krishna is the greatest truth. So coming to the point of the two Brahmanas, the older Brahmana and the younger Brahmana, they have this conversation in front of Gopal, and Gopal is the witness. Now, the conversation is great. Both return home, and the older Brahmana tells his family that, "I have promised my youngest daughter in marriage to this younger Brahmana." So there's a big uproar in the family because there's a mismatch. Of course, both are Brahmanas, but there's still some social, cultural mismatch with respect to the dynasty and the wealth and the reputation of both families. So the older son of the older Brahmana, which means the sister of the girl who's about to get married, I'm sorry, the brother of the girl who's about to get married, that brother, he said that this is not fair. This is not going to happen. So, but the older Brahmana said, "But I've already given my word." So the brother said, "Well, we will see when it comes." When the younger Brahmana comes, you just say, "I don't remember what I just said. I actually forget details. Please tell him that, and later I will take care." And surely enough, after some time, the younger Brahmana comes, telling the older Brahmana that, "You had promised something like this. Not that I want to marry your daughter, but I want your words to come true in front of Krishna." Because in Shastra, it's an offense to speak falsity or false words in front of the deity. The older Brahmana says, "I somehow don't remember details." And the son, the brother of the girl, he starts saying, "Why are you harassing my father like this? Who even saw this conversation? There was no witness." So the younger Brahmana thinks, I had thought of this during the conversation. And he said, "Okay, I have a witness." So the brother said, "Who's the witness?" And the younger Brahmana said, "Gopal. Gopal is the Gopal is the witness." So the family, especially the brother of the girl, they all take it as a laugh. "Okay, so you have a deity as a witness. Great. So bring the deity in the witness box, and then we will have more conversation." So this younger Brahmana walks all the way to the deity of Gopal and tells him that, "You have heard everything. Now you please come, walk the distance and give witness." So after enough crying and weeping with sincerity, that the younger Brahmana was offering, outpouring his emotions, the deity said, "It's not possible for the deity to walk." So the younger Brahmana said, "If the deity can talk, the deity can walk." I have not seen deity talk either, but this deity is talking, so this deity may walk as well. So please come. Surely enough, Gopal keeps his devotee ahead of him. Puraskṛtya. Gopal keeps his devotee ahead of him and tells him, "I will walk behind you. You walk, I will walk behind you, and you will hear my ankle bells tinkling as I am walking. But please don't look behind. Don't look behind in ashraddha, in lack of faith. Ashraddhadhana purusha." Krishna says that faith is the fundamental pillar on the path of bhakti. So don't look back. Time and again, you arrange for nice prasadam, nice bhoga for me. give me kilos and kilos of rice, and I will keep eating. I will keep tinkling with my ankle bell, and I'll keep walking. So trust me. So the DT keeps walking, ting, 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 nice jingling, tinkling ankle bell sound, takes the journey through. And just when they're about to come out, they're about to reach the village, the ankle bell sound stops. The younger Brahmana turns, and the DT pauses forever. The DT of Gopal, he situates himself outside the village. So the young Brahmana runs into the village and says, Krishna may not have come into the village, but he has come outside. So now all of you, please come and welcome Krishna and speak to him. So they are all amazed that this deity is very heavy and he has walked hundreds and hundreds of kilometers by foot, because there's no truck where you can airlift, or there's no crane by which you can bring a deity. He's walking, keeping his devotee ahead. He is walking. And then, of course, the whole village has a big festival and everyone's heart melts seeing Krishna's bhakta vatsalyata. Krishna's greatest quality is Krishna considers his devotee as his vatsa purasara. He considers his devotee as a calf, and Krishna himself walks behind his calf-like devotees. Therefore, he's Bhakta Vatsal. Krishna loves his devotees. So this is our strength, and this is Krishna's weakness. This is the greatest strength on the path of bhakti. It is not our sadhana. It is not our knowledge. It is not our faith. It is the love that Krishna has for us. Even if you don't worship him, Krishna loves you. Tell yourself, Krishna loves me. Otherwise, who can give a human form without asked? It's quite interesting. Parents may become a medium to give us birth, but there are so many parents around the world who want children, but they can't bear one. So parents can only be a medium. They can't actually be the sole decision maker in providing a human form. The human form is given only by Krishna. Goswami Tulsidas ji has said in one writing, Bade hi bhagya hoi satsanga, bina hi prayasa hoi bhavabhanga. That Krishna is so kind that he gives us a human form. In that he gives us bhakti. In that he gives us the association of devotees. And he appears in so many ways. He comes as the holy name. He comes as Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. He comes in the form of festive tithis like Janmashtami, Radhashtami, Gaur Purnima, and even every fortnight as Ekadashi. He also appears in a very beautiful Bhakti Pradayini form as Tulsi Devi. He appears as Shaligram Shilas. He appears as Vrindavan Dham. He appears as Guru Tattva. Krishna is coming in so many wonderful, mysterious ways. And then he sits as Paramatma. Then he gives us the association of so many wonderful saints, only lovingly, affectionately pulling strings of love towards his lotus feet. So we are in a well. Manasi japani jushte, labda patosmi dushte. We are in a well full of darkness, of avidya. We are in a well full of slimy, sticky material desires. We are in a well full of snake like lust, anger, envy, anarthas. And Krishna is so kind. He lives outside the well of this material world and he puts in the rope of bhakti. Only if we could hold to this rope of bhakti, then he is ready to pull us out of this material world. So in Damodar Leela, 2 fingers short. One, our endeavor. Second, Krishna's love, Krishna's compassion. So this is the nature of Krishna. He puts his devotees ahead of him. Ye me bhakta jana partha name bhaktascha te jana mad bhaktananja ye bhakta te me bhakta tamamata. Krishna has said that those who love me and serve me, yes, they may walk around as devotees. But those who love me by serving my devotees, they're actually my devotees. So this is very important. So Krishna loves us, and Krishna loves us even more when we love those whom Krishna loves. That is his pure devotees. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, in one discussion, he said, he defined love of Godhead. What is love of Godhead? He said love of Godhead or Krishna Prem means loving God. It's quite interesting. 4 parts. Loving God, loving those who love God, loving those who are trying to love God, and loving those whom God loves. So we'll repeat that. Love of Godhead means loving God, which means chanting the holy name, worshipping the deity, studying Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. That is loving God. Second, loving those who love God, which means serving pure Vaishnavas who love Krishna. Then what about sadhakas in this world, conditioned souls? So loving those who are trying to love God. So that's also included. And then what about others who are not devotees, or trees or plants or animals or insects? Or loving those whom God loves. So all four aspects is called love of God. And if we can imbibe this in our life, then purasarohari, Krishna keeps our interest ahead and then he walks behind. Therefore, padbhyam chalanyo pratima swarupo brahmanya devo hi shataha gamyam desham yayo viprakrite bhuteham tam sakshi gopalam aham natosmi. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, padbhyam chalan. Krishna didn't mysteriously fly or just appear there as Gopal, Sakshi Gopal. He's called the witness Gopal, Sakshi Gopal. Padbhyam chalan. He walked by foot. Pratima Swarupa, although he is in a deity form, still the deity walked. And Brahmanya Devo hi Shataha Gamyam. How many days did Krishna walk? When you have Katha for 7 days, it's called Saptaha. Aha means days and Sapta means 7. This verse says Brahmanya Devo hi Shataha Gamyam. Shata means 100. This deity form of Gopal walked for 100 days behind his devotee. And Desham Yayo, he came from one place to another. Viprakrite Adbhuteham. He came just for his devotee. Tam Sakshi Gopalam Aham Natosmi. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, I bow down to that Krishna who loves his devotees so much that he's ready to walk behind them, only to give witness in a marital proposal. Brahmanya Devo. It is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha, Jagad Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Krishna loves his cows and Krishna loves his devotees. So we are drawing parallels between the calves and the devotees in this regard. Brahmanya Deva Gopalir Mahimai Dhanya Nityananda Vaktajar Shrota Shri Chaitanya. Chaitanya Charitamrita says, why would Nitai speak and why would Chaitanya Mahaprabhu listen to just a marital conflict? It's not a marital conflict. It is a pastime where Krishna is ready to walk for his devotee. That is the main thing. It's not whether the older Brahmana gives his daughter or the younger Brahmana wants to marry. That's not the point. The point is Krishna loves his devotee so much. Brahmanya Dev Gopalera Mahima Dhanya. He came walking for his devotee. And that took placing his devotee ahead, Krishna walked behind. So therefore, this is called Purasarahari. In the first verse itself, this is a very good take home. Now let's do verse 2 and 3 in the reading. Tenaiva sākaṁ pṛthukāḥ sahasraśaḥ snigdhāḥ suśig-vetra-viṣāṇa-veṇavaḥ svān sahasropari-saṅkhyayānvitān vatsān puraskṛtya viniryayur mudā kṛṣṇa-vatsair asaṅkhyātair yūthī-kṛtya sva-vatsakān cārayanto rbha-līlābhir vijahrus tatra. So tenaiva sākaṁ. Tenaiva sākaṁ means with, sardham, with. Tenaiva sākaṁ. So tena refers to either Krishnena saha, with Krishna, or Shringa-ravena, with the flute sound. This is very interesting that Srila Sridhar Swami in his original commentary, he writes, I'll read the original. Tenaiva Shringa-ravena Shri Krishnena va saha pṛthukāḥ bālaḥ snigdhāḥ sneha-yuktāḥ ramyaḥ suśig-vetra-dayo yesham te shikyam sahasradika sankhya snigdhān vatsān iti. So Srila Sridhar Swami says, the word tena refers to either Krishnena, with Krishna, or Shringa-ravena, or with the flute sound. Tenaiva sākaṁ. These boys moved from their homes, either attracted to the flute sound or attracted to the person who's playing the flute, and even best, the lethal combination of both. Ecstatic flute sound coming from the lips of the ecstatic person. So, Leela Premna Priyadikyam Madhurye Premayo Rupayo Venu Rupayo Iti Asadharanam Proktam Govindasya Chatushtayam. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he explains that Leela Premna Priyadikyam Madhurye Venu Rupayo, that Krishna's flute sound, Krishna's bodily beauty, Krishna's friends, and Krishna's ecstatic pastimes. These four things, asadharanam chatushtayam. These four are extraordinary four aspects of Govinda. And you can see in this pastime, all four rivers are mixing. Krishna's friends are coming in, getting attracted to the flute, being attracted to the form, and opening up the box of ecstatic Leela. So all these four things of Govinda are mixing. If not for Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, how would we know the ecstasy of Krishna's flute and the ecstasy of Krishna's Rupa Madhuri? Śrīmad-Bhāgavatasya tattvam amalam bodhum kṣamo bhūtale ko vrindavanam madhuri kalayitum vaktum cha dhatte matim gopendratmaj rupam adbhutatamam ko vanayen manasam shrimantam karunakaram gunanidhim rupam sa bandhum vinah. It is very beautifully described. Kashri Bhagavatasya Tattvam Amalam Bodhum Kshamo Bhutale. How could we have understood Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam if these three personalities had not come? Rupa Goswami, his guru Sanatana Goswami, and Rupa Goswami's disciple Jiva Goswami. If these three personalities had not appeared, Kashri Bhagavatasya Tattvam Amalam Bodhum Kshamo Bhutale, on Mother Earth, who has the power to understand Bhagavatam without these three personalities? And Ko Vrindavana Madhuri Kalayitum Vaktum Cha Dhatte Mati, and who can give their mind completely in speaking and understanding, receiving through the ear, the sweet leelas of Vrindavan? Nobody can. Gopendratmaja Rupam Adbhutatamam Kovan Nayin Manasam. And who has the power with their mind to completely meditate on the qualities of Krishna, if not given by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu? Therefore, Shrimantam Karunakaram Gunanidhim Rupam Sabandhum Vina. Who is there more magnanimous, more merciful, more ecstatically opulent with Krishna Prem, apart from Rupa Goswami in this world? So therefore, tenaiva sākaṁ, getting attracted to Krishna, either Rupa Madhuri or Venu Madhuri. Tenaiva sākaṁ pṛthukāḥ. Pṛthukāḥ sahasraśaḥ. Pṛthukāḥ means balakaha, the friends. Sahasraśaḥ means thousands. So there were thousands and thousands of friends. And Srila Sridhar Swami, in his Bhavartha Deepika, he writes that pṛthukāḥ balaha snigdhāḥ sneha-yuktāḥ, that thousands and thousands of boys who are all friends of Krishna, tenaiva sākaṁ pṛthukāḥ sahasraśaḥ. These pṛthukāḥ, these boys, balakaha, sahasraśaḥ, in thousand, they're all snigdhāḥ. Snigdha means sneha yuktaha. They love Krishna. So the word sneha is very interesting. The word sneha either means love, or it can also mean butter. Sneha also means butter. So snigdhaha sneha yuktaha. These boys are either full of love in their heart for Krishna, which is the fact. At the same time, they're also carrying a lot of butter either in their mouth, or they're carrying milk products for their vanashaya. So in this way, there's double meaning there. So snigdhāḥ. And these boys, suśig-vetra-viṣāṇa-veṇavaḥ. They are carrying four things with them. Shik means shikyadin, the one that we were describing previously. They're all carrying sticks on their shoulder with the silken bags with a lot of prasadam on both ends. So you can typically imagine a rural farmer in India having a long stick with a prasadam bag on the end of both sticks, so both ends of the stick. So this is called shik. The stick with the silken bag is called shik. So they're having a nice stick which is carrying the silken bag with prasadam. So this is called suśig, very nicely arranged. So pṛthukāḥ sahasraśaḥ snigdhāḥ suśig-vetra. Vetra means a cow-herding stick. Cow-herding stick, vetra, a stick. So they have the vetra under their armpit. So you can imagine on the right hand, They're holding the stick with prasadam on either sides. And under the armpit of the left hand, they're having a cow herding stick. Because if the calves go unrestricted, you have to use a cow herding stick, not to hit them, but just to give a direction, just to give to reprimand them and to chastise them just by words. The cowherd boys, they never use their stick. They will just show the stick. You see, what comes down generation is what goes down generation. So when Krishna was 3.5, his mother showed him the stick in Damodar Leela. Now Krishna with his friends, when he finds calves, he's showing the stick. He doesn't use it, but he's just showing the stick. They may just, when the calves go astray, they may just make some sounds. Hey, hey, just make some sounds and get the calves back on track. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has said, Mad Gavapi Gopālo, in the 10th canto, Sarartha Darshini commentary. He says, oh dear Shyamasundar, oh dear Krishna, my words are like naughty calves. This is a prayer we all can offer. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti says, oh dear Gopal, my words, they are like naughty calves. Why? Because the calves don't follow one path. You tell them to walk in a certain way, they get distracted and they start drinking water here and there and start frolicking and playing, and they start getting distracted or alternatively attracted in Vrindavan. There's no distraction. There's just alternative attraction. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti says, my dear Krishna, my dear cowherd boy Gopal, my words are like naughty calves. And instead of drinking the Yamuna water of your glories, the calf-like words of my tongue are busy drinking the sewage water of the topics of this world. This is a very good prayer. It's a very nice prayer. Oh Krishna, my words are like naughty calves, and instead of drinking the Yamuna water of your glories, my naughty calf-like words are drinking the sewage gutter water of dirty topics of this world. Please kindly use your vetra. That's the connection. Vetra means cow herding stick. Please kindly use the cow herding stick of your mercy and bring the calf of my words back to your lotus feet. Which means, may the calf of my tongue always keep listening to your words and glorifying by drinking the Yamuna water of your pastimes. Let me just speak about you, O Krishna. So this is the Vetra. And now Viṣāṇa. Viṣāṇa means the bugle that they carry on the waist. This is also described in Canto 10, Chapter 14, Text 1. It is very beautifully described by Brahmaji. Naumīdyate brava-pushe tadidambarāya gunjāvatam sapari-picchala sanmukhāya vanyasraje kavala-vetra-viṣāṇa-veṇu lakshma-shriye mrudupade pashupangajaya. It's a very beautiful verse where Brahmaji says, oh Krishna, you are so beautiful and you're carrying all these different things. Naumi dyate abravapushe tadidambaraya. Krishna, your form is like a rain cloud and your yellow dhoti is like lightning. And gunjavatam saparipicchala sanmukhaya, your face is like the moon and you have natural ornaments made out of the gunja berries of Vrindavan. Vanyasraje, you have very nice forest garlands with blossoming, fragrant, attractive forest flowers. And Kavala Vetra Viṣāṇa Venu, again the same words. Vetra Viṣāṇa Venu. Krishna, you have a cow herding stick, you have bugles and buffalo horns, and Venu, you have a flute. And most importantly, Kaval. In your left palm, you have yogurt and rice. This is quite interesting. My Guru Maharaj says Krishna carries yogurt and rice everywhere as he walks with his left hand. Even in the Brahma Vimohan Leela, Krishna went out searching for his lost calves that Brahma has sthanantarit, just changed place. So even there, Krishna carried yogurt and butter and rice mixed together. And Krishna was eating and trying to search for his calves. So it's quite interesting. South Indians who like to eat curd and rice or yogurt and rice, they will love this because even Krishna is giving praman for their staple food. So back to this verse. suśig-vetra-viṣāṇa-veṇu. So why we went to that previous verse? Because Brahmaji also gives the same order. Vanyasraje kavala vetra vishana venu. And that same order is given here, that Krishna and all the friends are carrying nice stick on their shoulder with rice bags on both sides. They have nice bugles and buffalo horns on the waist. They have a cow herding stick under their armpit. And they also have flutes. Suśig-vetra-viṣāṇa venu. Venu in the plural usage will be Veṇavaḥ. So tenaiva sākaṁ pṛthukāḥ sahasraśaḥ. Thousands and thousands of happy, chubby, love-filled boys are getting attracted to Krishna's flute or getting attracted to the player of the flute, Krishna himself. And snigdhāḥ suśig-vetra-viṣāṇa-veṇavaḥ. This su will go with all four words. Suśig and su-vetra, su-viṣāṇa, su-venu. Which means they have excellent sticks, cow herding sticks. They have excellent prasadam, silken bags. They have excellent bugle and buffalo horns. And they have excellent flutes and flute playing ability. And how many of them? Srila Sridhar Swami says, sahasradika saṅkhyaya snigdhān vatsān. There are thousands, sahasraśaḥ. There are thousands and thousands of boys. But how many calves? If sahasraśaḥ word is used for the boys, how many calves are there? Sahasropari-saṅkhyayān. Sahasropari, more than 1,000. And Srila Jiva Goswami, in his commentary, has given a whole calculation of how many boys were, how many calves were actually there. So let me read that section. Srila Jiva Goswami Pad, yes. Now he says, Srila Jiva Goswami says that all these boys, they left their home at the same time. And they left because snigdhāḥ, they have so much love for Krishna that he says they all left mahavegena. They all started running in excitement. Mahavegena dhavanat yata snigdhāḥ ata sarvesham eva yugapat nirgamopi suchitaha. That it is to be understood that they were all running away from their homes to get to Krishna. Isn't that also a very interesting philosophical lesson? That only those who can overcome their family attachments and material attachments are the ones who can actually enter Krishna's pastimes. Not that you have to physically leave your home, but we have to overcome material attachment. The love that we have for Krishna should be more than the love that we have for anybody in this world. And these boys are teaching us, if you have that kind of snigdhāḥ, that kind of love, sneha, then mahavegena dhavanat. They can all run to Vrindavan. They can run to the programs. They can run for the association. They can run for the Abhishek and Kirtan and Katha like these boys. Okay, now let's see. Sahasrasya upari sankhya. Now Jiva Goswami is calculating how many calves were actually there in that sahasropari-saṅkhyayānvitān. He says, ekam dasha satam chaiva sahasram ayutam tatha laksham cha niyutam chaiva koti nyar budhamevacha. Very interesting calculation. Srila Jiva Goswami Pad says, greater than 1 is 10. Greater than 1 is 10. And above 10, he says, is shata, which is 100. And greater than 100 is sahasra, which is 1,000. Now, sahasra upari, what comes after 1,000? Jiva Goswami writes, he says ayuta, which means 10,000. Greater than that is laksha, which is 1 lakh. And then niyuta, which is 10 lakh or 1 million. And greater than that is koti, which is 1 crore. Greater than that is Nirbudha, which is 10 crore. And Srila Jiva Goswami Pad says, this is how many calves existed. This is how many calves existed. Now, some of our atheistic, illogical minds will say, that's not possible. We'll come to that too. We will say how it's possible. So first we'll see what Jiva Goswami writes. He says, this is the calculation for the number of calves. And svān sahasropari-saṅkhyayānvitān vatsān, these hundreds and thousands and millions of calves. Svān, which means with their own groups, the boys were setting out with these own group of unlimited calves, and puraskṛtya, keeping them ahead, viniryayur mudā, they were happily leaving their homes. Mudā. See, vinirgataha word has come in the first verse, and now viniryayu. They left to walk away. They walked away from their homes, mudā, happily. So this teaches us how all these boys are like sannyasis. When a sannyasi comes home, why do we bow down? Why do we see the saffron cloth and bow down? Because we feel, oh Krishna, I am stuck in family attachment. Atha griha kshetra suta apta vittaihi janasya mohoya maham mameti. We will think that we are stuck with wives and husbands and children and parents and grandparents and grandchildren and home and investments and cars and job and money and whatnot. This is what's and relatives and neighbors and festivals and extended relatives. So all of this is occupying our mind. And amidst all of these things, we have little space for Krishna as well. But someone who is holding on a saffron cloth of renunciation, they've given up all this. No wife, no children. They give up their home and live in the ashram. So no parents, no grandparents, no grandchildren, no job, no car, no investments, no auto insurance, no property tax, nothing. So they can give their 100% to Krishna. And this is very important and very rare. We can do it, but those who do it, they are very special. So therefore, naturally, we bow down in gratitude that all of you, sannyasis and brahmacharis and renunciants, you have done what I can't, right? That's why we bow down. Think about the gopas and gopis in Vrindavan. They love Krishna so much. During the sunrise, when Krishna is playing the flute or the buffalo horn, the boys are leaving their homes, leaving their parents, leaving their brothers, and they're jumping out of windows just to be with Krishna. So they are sannyasis right there. And what about the gopis? For them, it's even more difficult. Because for the gopas, when they tell their parents, I have to go to meet Krishna, we are having a nice Vana Bhojan Leela, the mothers will pack the lunch box. They will even tell the child, please go, please be safe, play with Krishna, don't jump into water, don't get into a cave, don't climb up a tree. Because sometimes there are snakes wrapped around, coiled around the branches, and they may make the fruits very poisonous. So don't climb up a tree and eat those fruits. The parents may give some guidelines because they lovingly want their children to associate with Krishna. But for the gopis, it's exact opposite. It's not daytime, it's nighttime. It's not favorable, it's very unfavorable. The husbands, the in-laws, the society, everything speaks against them. But what is great in the life of the gopis, according to Shastra, is Naparayeham niravadya samyujam swasadhu krityam vibudha yama bhajan durjara geha shrinkalam samvrichaya tat pratiyatu sadhuna. Shastra says one should be cultured, one should be obedient to superiors. But the essence of that same Shastra says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. And the gopis follow this. So the gopas and the gopis in Vrindavan, they are the direct manifestation of sannyas or renunciation. So here, viniryayur mudā, the boys have happily given up their homes and they're jumping around. So now there could be an interesting question. How is this possible that so many thousands and thousands of people could fit themselves in a limited space? Because now you're saying there are crores and 10 crores and 100 crores. How do so many calves fit in Vrindavan? So now only when we think it's impossible and we think it's complicated, now we will see the third verse makes it even more unimaginable. And then Srila Prabhupada's purport just reconciles everything so amazingly. So we'll do verse 3. Kṛṣṇa-vatsair asaṅkhyātair. Aha. Till now you said the boys are thousands, and you said the calves of those boys are over thousands. Now how many calves did Krishna have? Kṛṣṇa-vatsair asaṅkhyātair. Krishna's calves were unlimited. You can't count them. And even if you count them, you'll get confused where you stopped. You can't imagine, you can't count, you can't believe, and you can't explain. That's asankhya. And yūthī-kṛtya sva-vatsakān. This is very interesting word. Yūthī-kṛtya sva-vatsakān. As the boys mixed with Krishna in the Leela, the calves of the boys mixed with the calves of Krishna. This is very, very sweet, dear devotees. This is bhakti. Please note, calf here represents our senses. Because our senses are calves here. They are naughty. And bhakti means yūthī-kṛtya. kṛṣṇa-vatsair asaṅkhyātair yūthī-kṛtya. Yūthī-kṛtya means to mix, youth banana, to make a group. So the boys are mixing with Krishna, embracing him, talking to him, holding by the hand. And the calves of those boys are mixing with the calves of Krishna. Not becoming one, but they're all mixing in the group. And this is bhakti. Rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchyate. To take our senses and serve the senses of Krishna and mix into Krishna's service. This is bhakti. This is certainly bhakti. Therefore, King Kulashekara has said, Jivhe kirtaya keshavam muraripu cheto bhaja Śrīdharam pani dvandva samarchaya chuta katha shrotradvayam tvam shunu Krishnam lokaya lochana dvayahare gacchangri yugmalaye jigragrana mukunda pada tulasim murdhanna madho shajam. Kulashekar says, King Kulashekara says, the perfection of human life is to mix all our senses in Krishna's service. Yūthī-kṛtya. Our senses are like calves, and mixing them in Krishna's calf-like senses in serving him, this is perfection. So with the tongue, jivhe kirtaya keshavam. With the tongue, do kirtan of Keshav. Muraripu cheto bhaja. And O mind, remember Muraripu. That is Krishna, the enemy of Murari. Śrīdharam pani dvandva samarchaya. And O hands, please worship Sridhar. O palms, worship Sridhar. And achyuta katha shrotradvayam tvam shrunu. And both ears, please listen to the katha of Achyuta. So it all means Krishna, but different names are used. O tongue, chant the names of Keshav. O mind, please remember Murari. O palms, please worship the deity called Sridhar. O ears, please hear the Hari Katha of Achyuta. And Krishnam lokaya lochana dvayahare gacchangri yugmalayam. O eyes, please see the deity of Krishna. O feet, walk to the temple of Hari. And jigragrana mukunda pada tulasim. O nose, please smell the fragrance of tulsi offered at the feet of Mukunda. And O head, murdhanna madhokshajam. And O head, bow down to the feet of Adhokshaja. This is called yūthī-kṛtya. Understand? This is mixing our calves like senses in the service of Krishna's calf-like transcendental senses. Therefore it is described, Savai mana Krishna padara vindayo vachamsi vaikuntha gunanuvarnanam karo harer mandira marjanadishu shrutim chakara chuta satkatodaye mukunda lingalaye darshane drishau tadbhritya gatra sparashenga sangamam granam cha tatpada saroja saurabhe Śrīmad-Tulasya rasanatadarpite पादौ हरेर क्षेत्र पदान सर्पणे शिरो ऋषिकेश पदाभिवंदने कामं च दास्ये न तु काम काम्यया यदुत्तम श्लोक जनाश्रयारति. It is so beautifully described in the pastimes of Ambarish Charitra that Ambarish Maharaj also mixed his calf-like loving senses, yūthī-kṛtya. Please note, this is just explanation of yūthī-kṛtya sva-vatsakān in the third verse. Mixing the calf-like senses in the service of Krishna. So Ambarish Maharaj mixed his senses as Savai mana Krishna padara vindayo. With his mind, he remembered Krishna. Vachamsi vaikuntha gunanu varnane. With his tongue, he described Krishna. And Karaur harer mandira marjanadishu. And he used his kara, his palms, in mopping and cleaning and sweeping the temple floor. And Shrutim chakara achyuta katha Kathodaye, Sat Kathodaye. And with the ears, he listened to Hari Katha. And in this way, he used all his senses. Shukdev Goswami could have said that Ambarish Maharaj just used all his senses in Krishna's service. He could have said, Ambarish just gave all his senses to Krishna. No, but he went into details to inspire all of us. So therefore, dear devotees, in this aspect, kṛṣṇa-vatsair asaṅkhyātair yūthī-kṛtya sva-vatsakān. Sva-vatsakān, these boys, yūthī-kṛtya, they made groups of their calves with the calves of Krishna. And how many calves did Krishna have? Asaṅkhyātair, which means unlimited. And as they were mixing, what happened? Cārayanto rbha-līlābhir vijahrus tatra. Ha word has been used. And our acharyas explain very beautifully that the syllable ha, Srila Jiva Goswami writes, and Vishwanath Chakravarti, that the syllable ha means harsha prayoga, which means enjoy. Shukdev Goswami, as he is speaking, you must know that the speaker adds his bhav while speaking the Leela Katha. So Shukdev Goswami is speaking this Leela, and the last syllable of the verse is ha. He's just relishing. He's like, ha, harsha prayog, which means out of joy. What is he saying? Cārayanto rbha-līlābhir. The calves are mixing with one another and the boys are frolicking. As the calves start to eat the grass in different places, rbha-līlābhir vijahrus. The boys are relishing childhood pastimes. Rbha-līlā. Rbha-līlā means childhood pastimes, and vijahru means to frolic. The boys frolic different pastimes, and the calves, they graze grass in different places. And where do the boys play? Tatra. Tatra means there. Tatra means there. Oh, as the calves are running, the boys are running. As the calves are eating grass, the boys are playing. Rbha-līlābhir. The boys are having a fun time. It's almost like releasing calves from the Gopāla. All these boys are like held calves at home, but when they're released, they're all running faster than the calves. And tatra. In Sanskrit, atra means here, tatra means there, kutra means where, and sarvatra means everywhere. So Shukdev Goswami is saying, the boys are playing there, the boys are playing there, the calves are eating grass there, the calves are running there. Ha, it's so amazing, Parikshit. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. So now comes $1 million question that we raised. The point is, how do they all manage in Vrindavan? How is it even possible to have hundreds and thousands and millions and lakhs and crores of calves? So now, if you're confused, I am planning to confuse you even more. This is Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti's commentary. Tatascha kṛṣṇa-vatsair mahayūthaihi saha swakan parārdādi-saṅkhyān vatsān pṛthuk yūthī-kṛtya iti arthaha. Nacha shodasha kroshi matrasya vrindavanasya pradeshe tavan no vatsaha naiva bhati iti vachyam bhagavad vigrasya eva dhamnaschasya tatha aparimitatve api achintya shaktya vibhutvat. Amazing. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Krishna has mahayūth, which means a great troop of unlimited calves. And how is it even possible that Shodasha Krosh is the, so 84 kos, what they call in Braj, is 168 square miles. So krosh or kos, one kos or one krosh refers to 2 square miles. So 84 kos will be 168 square miles. So it is described Vrindavan is Shodasha Krosh, which means only 32 square miles around. And Vishwanath Chakravarti is asking this question. In that matrasya Vrindavanasya pradeshe, in that small of Vrindavan, how is it possible to fit so much? How is it possible? In fact, Srila Jiva Goswami has given the exact count of how many calves Krishna had. Do you want to hear this? What is that asankhya? Now Srila Jiva Goswami explains. Quoting from another acharya called Ksheera-Swami, Srila Jiva Goswami says, what is Krishna's asankhya sankhya? When you say asankhya, unlimited calves, what is the count of that unlimitedness? Srila Jiva Goswami. He says greater than 1 is 10, and greater than 10 is shata, 100, and greater than shata, 100 is sahasra, which is 1,000. And one more zero to that, 10,000 is ayuta. Then one more zero to that, 100,000 is called prayuta. So we'll take the terms again. 10 to the power 0 is 1, eka. 10 to the power 1 is dasha. 10 to the power 2, which is 100, is called shata. 10 to the power 3, 1,000 is called sahasra. 10 to the power 4, which is 10,000, is ayuta. 10 to the power 5 is called laksha, which is called 1 lakh in India. In Sanskrit, it's called prayuta. 10 to the power 6, which we call as 10 lakh in India, which is 1 million, is called niyuta. And now 10 million or 1 crore is called koti or arbuda. Greater than that, 10 crores is called nyarbuda, also called as padma. Then 100 crore is called kharva. 1,000 crores is called nikharva. So now you will see this is 10 to the power 10. Srila Jiva Goswami. This is called nikharva. Now he says, you keep going ahead. Now 10 to the power 11 is Mahapadma. 10 to the power 12 is Shankha. 10 to the power 13 is Mahashankha. 10 to the power 14 is Samudra. 10 to the power 15 is Madhya. 10 to the power 16 is Anta. 10 to the power 17 is Para. 10 to the power 18 is Parardha. Now Jiva Goswami says, till now you may have come to 18 zeros in the calculation. Now he says, you multiply that by itself. So 10 to the power 36. This is called Amita. And now he says, you take that and multiply it by itself. So 10 to the power 72 is called Bhuri. And Jiva Goswami says, take that and multiply it by itself. 10 to the power 144, he says, is asaṅkhya. Yadi jiva na hoito, tabe ki hoito. If not for Srila Jiva Goswami. Swalpayusham kali yugetra nunam shamichan shabdhanushasana mahajaladhim vimathya namamritam samatadadya idam krupalu sa Srila Jiva charana sharanam mamastu. If not for Srila Jiva Goswami, who would have understood? You know, Shastra is like a milk ocean. And Srila Jiva Goswami's commentary, he churns that milk ocean like pastime. And like Mohini Murti comes out with these jewel-like nectar pots. Therefore, Jiva Goswami, Jivo Jivasya Jivanam. He is the life of all conditioned souls. So now, if you have 10 to the power 40, 10 to the power 144 calves, Krishna, this is what you have. Now the question is, how do you even fit them in Vrindavan? When we go to Vrindavan in Kartik, we find it difficult. The traffic coming from Loi Bazaar and Ghaziabad and Agra and Delhi and Noida, everyone coming on the weekend, and Prem Mandir and ISKCON and Baki Bihari Lal Ki Jai and Radha Vallabh Temple, Radha Raman Temple, small gullies in Vrindavan, and it just gets crowded. And it's quite interesting. There are cows also, there are calves also, and monkeys also taking our glasses. And what to speak of those cycle rickshaws and electric rickshaws and sadhus doing parikrama. I remember one time I was on my scooter driving just outside Prem Mandir in Kartik time, and it was so crowded. You know, just from the place where I was living to the ISKCON temple, it's only about 7 minutes, but then it would take about 30 minutes just battling. I felt like I was in a battlefield of Kurukshetra with Akshoinis, so many different infantry and horses and elephants. So one time I remember I was driving the scooter, and I was, of course, you can't honk because it's the parikrama mark. It's their right of the way. It's their right to do parikrama. I am in the wrong way. I shouldn't be bringing my car in Vrindavan or the scooter in Vrindavan, but practical. So while driving, I can't honk. So what was I doing? I was just saying, Radhe, 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 Radhe. So that's a way to say, okay, Hari Bol, I need little space. But it's quite exciting. When you drive and you say, Radhe, 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 one sadhu turned back. He was doing parikrama. He turned back and he looked at me and he thought I was wishing him. So he said, Radhe, Radhe. And he still continued to walk. I couldn't even convey to him that Radhe, Radhe was not Radhe, Radhe, but it was Radhe, Radhe, give me some space. So it's quite exciting. How do you fit so much in Vrindavan, dear Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti, dear Krishna, kṛṣṇa-vatsair, asaṅkhyātair? How do you do this? That'll be the cliffhanger for tomorrow. So please come back. We will start off tomorrow with the discussion of how Vrindavan can fit and accommodate so many calves, not just for the friends, but for Krishna and for so many Brajbasis. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.